Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Shishu Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Woman tricks over 1,000 men to show up on a date that she met on Tinder. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
This woman duped hundreds of guys who thought they were going on a Tinder date with her. The huge crowd of men looking for love gathered in Manhattan for a chance to woo this beautiful actress.
Yeah, these men were looking for love, all right. There's hundreds of men looking for love. No. They were trying to bust those cheeks. Let's just keep it real. We're going to correct some things here that are falsely presented. It's just the truth, man. Most of these dating apps people use to hook up, those hundreds of men did not show up to look for love.
I have everyone here today to be on a date with me.
But when they showed up, Natasha Aponte told them they'd be battling it out to win her affection.
No beer bellies, no long beards, no bald guys, you gotta go.
Natasha began eliminating the guys left and right.
Damn, she's having them line up. I don't know if you guys saw that. And she just waves left to swipe left on them and right if she wants to keep them. She says no beer bellies, no long beards. If you're a man and you stayed after you realize you just got duped for this social experiment and competed for this chick, you are a clown. I'm sorry. Let's keep watching.
Just like on the dating app.
Swipe right, swipe left.
What kind of reaction do you get in that moment?
People behind, in the back were kind of like booing me, and then the people in front were like, what? It was just a mixed reaction because no one has ever had this happen.
Amy, you spoke exclusively to the pair behind it to answer questions that we all wonder. What was it all really about?
Yeah, there were a lot of questions as to why. So they say, this popular dating app to secretly lure hundreds of men to a park right here in New York,
Tinder.
Union Square. The men thought they were going on a date one-on-one. They didn't realize the meetup was masterminded by a woman and a man who were just trying to make a point about the state of dating today.
As you may or may not know, my name is Natasha, and I have everyone here today to be on a date with me.
It's the
Yo, she's loving this attention. To see a woman standing up on that stage with hundreds of men around her is like a literal visual representation of the type of attention and access to men women have on dating apps. I know this, and you know this if you're any man on a dating apps. Women get far more matches on dating apps, way more attention. And it's built just like this. When you see the visual representation of what that looks like, it makes men look pathetic who are on dating apps. And this is coming from somebody who's used dating apps, right? It doesn't feel good to know that I was using a dating app at one point. I was in that crowd. I work with guys. I've got a freaking program, How to Win with Women and Dating Online. There are guys in there, right? We talk about this type of thing. This is how people date today. But seeing this visually and seeing guys who stayed there because they were just too thirsty or curious or thought they could be the guy who she chooses, it's just a bit like embarrassing. Like, bro, get some balls, walk away. It's time to leave, gentlemen.
Dating game that took social media by storm, known as the Tinder trap.
Swipe right, swipe left.
Using the popular dating app, one woman persuaded hundreds of men to show up at New York's Union Square Sunday to meet up with her. But the men, who were quickly joined by a crowd of curious onlookers, didn't know they were all there for the same date.
Persuaded? She probably just told him where to meet. You don't have to persuade men to meet you on a dating app.
Hi, everyone.
Now the woman, Natasha Aponte, and the man behind the stunt, Rob Bliss, are speaking out, saying the stunt wasn't performed to promote any product or company, but to conduct a social experiment.
The purpose of making this video was to simply take the Tinder experience and bring it into the real world.
This video was created by Bliss's production company, the result of 2 years of planning, creating a live version of Tinder where men compete for the attention of one woman, Aponte, subjecting them to tests of strength.
Go, 1,
No way.
2, 3.
Yo, this shit's so embarrassing. These guys are out here really doing push-ups for this 304, man. I am weak.
4.
And endurance.
Not a
racing
race.
Each other across the park.
Oh,
a sea
hell
of
no.
Would-be suitors trying to meet her long list of demands.
Oh, they're tripping,
Do you
bro.
have what it takes to win a date with me?
Their video shows what the men were willing to do for a date, but some watching the spectacle were angry.
Excuse me.
just did right here pulled a stunt on all these men who had stuff to do.
Any regrets? Any apologies?
Guy was mad right there. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. At least he spoke out, right? He probably thought that he was going to be the only guy there, but you'd be mad, right? You'd show up and see hundreds of people and realize you just got duped. And he didn't like that coffee.
This coffee smells like shit.
For the men who have some bruised egos?
I'm taking all of the hits right now, but I don't mind that because I know who I am and I'm happy and I'm secure in myself.
Natasha says she's received a slew of nasty comments online, with men insulting her in the wake of the stunt.
It's funny because all of the negative that I'm getting from these guys are still in my inboxes trying to date me.
Still, at the end of it all, she did keep her promise and went on a date with one of them.
All right, I picked the second one.
For Bliss, he says the social experiment provides a great way to examine and discuss our dating habits in the 21st century.
Male
It's become
species.
kind of socially acceptable to like disqualify people and say like, you know, you have to be X height, you have to make, you know, work X job. Like, yeah, we should be mad about this.
Yeah, so they said they reached out to 7,500 guys initially. 1,000 or so showed up. She picked one, and they didn't have a love connection. They say, proving their point, that just saying swiping right if you're above 6 feet tall or swiping right if you are dark-haired, that's not how we should be meeting each other.
Guys don't like online dating. Well, shit, I don't like online dating. But the truth is, man, it's just, this is where the culture's headed, right? If you are going to date and you want to maximize your options, whatever your goal is, online dating is an option. But back to the story. They use this as a statement to say we shouldn't be dating like this. Maybe we shouldn't. But you're not going to change modern day dating by a social experiment. It's just what it is. As always, the internet responded and had a lot to say about the situation. First comment comes from a woman and it says, if a man did this, the backlash would be terrible. I'm a female myself, she says, but I have to acknowledge how degrading this is for the guys. Yeah. Very degrading. Even more surprised, though, at the amount of men who stayed there and participated in that joke. Another comment here says, in quotation marks, quoting the video, he says, this beautiful actress. Every girl on Instagram, he's saying, basically thinks they're a beautiful actress, probably works at a fast food joint. Yeah, she is not as attractive as she thinks she is at all. She kind of had a nasty attitude too, like she was feeling herself. But of course she is. Hundreds of men are surrounding her, which is exactly what happens on a dating app, right? False sense of beauty for sure for most women. Another comment here says, wow, she seems very stuck up. She ain't even all that. 2K plus likes. Another guy here says she's like a 6 out of 10. Wouldn't even swipe. She also wasted their time and money. And in parentheses, fuel. He edited the comment after watching the whole video and says, sorry, she's worse than I remembered. She's a 4 out of 10. Mercy. She only had a decent score because of her makeup covering her entire face. Next, we have another person here who says, I'm more disappointed that the men didn't just outright leave, which is true and goes to show you how many men actually lack self-respect out here. You can see it for yourself. Another person here says, at this point, I can't even blame her. I blame the men, especially those that stayed. Men like that have created females like her. Be better for yourself. Do better for yourself. Another person here says, this woman deserves nobody and should be fined for how she made people feel and for the fact that this went online degrading people more. And this video got millions of views, which is very embarrassing. 43 likes. Yeah. You're not allowed to sue somebody for filming in a public area. But I will say this, if these were all women, at least 10 of them plus would have sued for emotional duress and would have said they're experiencing trauma from the situation for sure. Another person here says she has a long list of requirements, but what does she have to offer? The question mark, 600 plus people wanted to know this question. Well, she has to offer second-hand cheeks. Another person here says, I thought I was a loser who can't get a date, but these guys made me feel good about myself. At least I wouldn't be willing to sacrifice my self-respect. Getting towards the end here, this commenter says the winner of her competition probably had every quality she wants in a man except self-respect. That's facts. Another person here says, imagine staying after getting humiliated like that. These guys have no dignity. Another female commenter here says, if a man did that, they would have a whole protest of feminists. It would go international, but no, it's men, so it's not wrong. In the app, denying someone is discreet. Only you would know if you reject them. they wouldn't be rejected publicly. The app is perfectly fine. What she did was shaming. Another woman added and said, I would have tried my hardest to win just so I could reject her. And the final comment reads, shame on those guys who didn't leave. Respect for the black dude who took the mic. Guys, I'm curious, what do you think of this whole situation? Comment down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.